All right, in the last video, we created our Firebase project. We added a user to Firebase. We added a clients collection. We imported some sample data. We also just generated an Angular 4 application. So now what I want to do is start to create the components that we're going to be using, and there's going to be quite a bit. Okay, we're not going to get to all of them now, but we are going to at least generate them so they're there. Okay, so let's open up Visual Studio Code. And I have the client panel application opened over here, and I'm just going to open up my terminal. All right, and we're going to start to generate some of these components. Okay, so first one we're going to generate is going to be the dashboard. All right, so let's do ngg component. We want it to go into the components folder, and it's going to be called dashboard. Okay, so if we look in our source and then in the app folder, we have components, we have dashboard, a folder called dashboard, and then our files. It also adds it to app.module.ts and it imports it into ng module. All right, so the dashboard is going to be basically like the home page, okay, but you are going to have to be authenticated to view it, at least later on. All right, and then inside the dashboard, we're going to have a clients component that's going to be a table of all of our clients that are going to be fetched from Firebase. So let's go ahead and create that. So we'll go down here and we'll do ngg component. It's going to go into components and it's going to be called clients. Okay, that takes care of that. Let's clear that up. So now you can see we have a clients component. Now, clients are also going to have a details page so that we can see further information on them, and we can, we'll see the edit button, the delete button, all that stuff. So let's create a client details component. I'm just going to click the up arrow, and let's change this to client details. Generate that. Okay, so the next one we're going to generate is going to be the add client component, which is going to be a form to add a client. So let's say add client. Okay, we're also going to have an edit client, which will be the edit form. So let's say edit client. All right, and let's see, we're also going to need a navbar component. So we'll just do component slash navbar. We're also going to have a sidebar. So you can see there's quite a few components in this application. And this is what a real Angular application starts to look like. You're going to have a ton of components because you have a ton of UI elements. And this is actually a pretty small application if we're comparing it to production-based apps. Now we're also going to have a login and register component. So let's do that. Let's do login. Okay, and we'll do register. And we're also going to have a settings component so we can edit some of the settings. All right, and then the last one I'm going to do is a page not found component, and that's what I want to load if we try to go to a route that doesn't exist. So let's say page not found. All right, and that should do it. So if you look over here in the components folder, you should have all of these. And I know it's a lot. Try not to let it overwhelm you, but you'll see how they all come together. So now what I want to do is set up our router, at least some of the routes. So let's go to our app.module.ts, and you'll see all those components were brought in, and they're all being imported right here. Okay, and that's another really nice thing about Angular CLIs. It does all this for us. If we were using the quick start, we'd have to manually add all this stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and let's bring in the router module. So we're going to go up here and say import router module as well as routes. All right, and that's going to be from the Angular /router package. Okay, and then we're going to go down here right above ng module and let's create our routes. So it's going to be in a constant called app routes, which will have the type of routes, and we'll set that to an array. Okay, each route will be an object, so we're going to define a path. This is going to be for the home page, so I'm going to keep this blank. And then let's say component is going to be the dashboard component. Okay, So let's put a comma there, and let's also do, let's see, let's do, we might as well do our register and login. We're not going to do the functionality for those now, but we might as well add the routes. So this will be for register, and the component will be the register component. Okay, we'll do the same thing for login. Login component. And let's just do those for now. There's more we'll add later on, but I just at least want to get the routes that are going to be in the navbar. Okay, so now that we did that, let's go down to our imports. And we're going to put in here, we'll put a comma, and then we're going to put our router module. Okay, but we want to do router module dot for route, and then we want to pass in our app routes like that. Okay, and we'll save. Now we need to put our router outlet inside of the main app component. So let's go to app.component.html. We're going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to put a div with the class of container. Oh, a little slow there. And then let's put our router outlet like that and save. Okay, now if we go to our application, now we see dashboard works, meaning that it's showing the dashboard for the home page, which is what we want. If we go to, let's go to /register, we get register works. We also created the login route. We get login works. Good. Now we're going to want the navbar on every single page, so let's take care of that. I'm going to go to the Bootstrap 4 documentation. Okay, which when you're watching this, it may not be at this alpha, version 4 alpha, but for now it is. And we're going to go to, let's see, documentation. And you know what, let's go to examples and then starter template. And then I'm just going to do a Control U, and we're going to grab this nav tag right here. Copy that. All right, and then we're going to go to our navbar component HTML file. Paste that in. Okay, we're going to remove the fixed top class right here. And let's see, what else are we going to do? I'm going to change the style up. Let's do BG faded, and let's change this to navbar light. Okay, and then let's see, we're also going to wrap everything inside the nav in a container to push it into the middle. So right here, let's put a div, we'll say div class container, and then that's going to end right above the nav down here. Okay, we'll just tab that over. Actually that's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then in the brand right here, let's change this to, we'll say client panel. And let's see, what else are we doing here? Let's get rid of this span class, this current thing right here. We're not going to use that. And let's see, we'll get rid of this disabled LI. We're going to get rid of this whole drop down LI. We're going to get rid of the form right here. Now this UL, you'll see, has MR auto. That's going to align it to the, actually it's going to align it to the right, I think. You know what, let's just save this and let's see what it looks like. We're just going to have to add the selector to the main app component. So right here, let's say app-navbar, and let's just see what that looks like. That's not it. There it is. Alright, so that's what it looks like so far. Let's see. So what I want is a dashboard link here, and then the login and register links over here. So we're going to have to change this up a little bit. Let's see. Let's change this home to dashboard. Okay, and remember we're using the router, so we want to do router link equals, and that's going to go to slash. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of this LI. And then what I'm going to do is copy this UL here, and then paste it right underneath. And I'm going to change this to ML Auto. And then this is going to be the login link. It's going to go to /login. And then let's copy this whole LI. And this one's going to go to, actually let's do register and then login. Alright, and we're just going to remove the active class from all of these. This one too. And let's see what that looks like. There we go. So now we have the dashboard over here. Register and login. You can see all the links work. That's exactly what we want so far. And then one thing I want to do is just add a couple line breaks below the navbar to kind of push everything down. So let's go right here. And we'll just put a couple line breaks. And there we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stop the video here. We have all of our components generated. We also have the dashboard link. We have the register and login links. In the next video, we're going to start to implement Firebase, and we're going to use something called Angular Fire 2, which allows us to integrate Firebase with Angular, and we're going to start to try and pull our clients in from Firebase.